Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you how I plan my monthly grocery shop. So how we do our grocery shop on a monthly basis is toward the end of the month, around just after payday, I book a large monthly grocery shop from Tesco. Tesco is the provider that we use, but I have used Morrison's, Asda and Iceland in the past. I just don't always feel that I get the same range of what I like. So I tend to go back to Tesco. I don't really know why. That is also our local largest grocery store. So there tends to be the most selection for the online shop. So this is not a sponsored video by Tesco by any means. I wish it was, it's not. Yeah, that's who we use. So on a monthly basis, we do one big grocery shop online and get it all delivered to the house, which is so much easier because grocery shopping or any kind of shopping with a toddler is super stressful. She won't sit down in the trolley anymore. She's putting things in my trolley. I'm trying to take them back out again. It's very hard to keep a hold of. And if you've got a really big list, it's just not going to happen. And also it saves me carrying any really heavy bags up the stairs and into the house. Because it's all brought to your front door or your back door. We get it to our back door because our fridge freezer, our large one, is in the conservatory and we have another one in the kitchen. So they bring it around back, all the heavy stuff, all the big bottles of juice and things. I don't have to worry about it and it's all delivered right to my door. So that is what I do. Then over the course of the month there will be some things that we need fresh, milk, fruit, salad, that kind of thing. I will include that in my monthly shop, but I'll be aware that that will only last about a week, and then we'll have to do a couple of trips, and we usually go to Aldi for that. That's my husband's favourite shop. He'll usually go to Aldi for that and pick up the kind of basic fresh stuff that we need to get during the month. So in terms of budget, our general grocery budget on a monthly basis for the big shop is £200, and then we probably spend around £20 to £30 over the course of the month, topping that up with milk and fruit and salad. And that seems to work for us. I still spend the £200 mark, even though I no longer include nappies and things like that, nappies and wipes on our list, or at least I hadn't until very recently. If you follow this channel, I'm now 36 weeks pregnant, so my last grocery order I did get some newborn nappies and wipes. But previous to that, Elena, our toddler, 2.5 years old, has been potty trained for quite some time. So instead of sort of reducing our budget, we just got more stuff that was sort of luxury items, which again we're going to have to be a little bit more careful with when this little one comes along. But generally that's how it works. And what I'll take you through is I'll show you how I do this. So step number one is check what we've already got left over from the month before. So that means going through the freezer, seeing what's there, what needs to be used first. And I always prioritise using up whatever we got last time around first. So if there's still chicken breasts in there, I'll make sure that any new chicken breasts go below it, so that I'm always using what's most recently placed in the freezer first. And then going through things like the fridge, there generally is not very much left in the fridge by the end of the month, and going through the cupboards. So what sauces do we have, what tins of soup and potatoes and vegetables and so on do we have, and then sort of going through and sort of writing those down, or at least taking a note in my head if it's not very much, and working out therefore what we need to top up. So starting with my fridge, as you can see our fridge is pretty empty at the end of this month. I have some cauliflower rice up here, 2 different varieties, Indian pilau and Mediterranean. I'm the only person who will eat this, so that's my rice alternative when I'm trying to be a bit healthier. We have some alcohol down the bottom, which being pregnant I sadly cannot enjoy, but apart from that everything else is empty. Some more, again, alcohol up here that is just sitting not being drunk because I'm pregnant. We have some salad dressings and things here, some sweet chilli sauce, and I know I have a backup of this in the cupboard as well. I also have some pesto here for making pasta, but apart from that my fridge is basically empty, so there's not much that I can do from here. I don't need any salad dressings though, so I know I don't need to add those to my list. On the freezer side, I have up here some leftover meals, some little toddler size meals and things. Yeah, when I've got leftovers I try and freeze them in little batches. On this side I have 2 packs of mashed potato. I have some leftover mince here, and then these are packs of like mashed potato and sweet potato that you just literally microwave. These are so handy. You just take out however many pellets you want, put them in the microwave. Got some frozen fruit here. I have a bunch of frozen little mini rolls. These are the tiny little rolls Elena likes to have, so I don't need to buy any more of them. And I also have some wraps here. On this side I have a few of these organic yogurt lollies left, frozen yogurt lollies, but that's all. And then I have one chocolate lolly. I will be getting some more ice lollies because she loves them. I have some more fruit for smoothies, so the exotic fruit mix, the frozen berries. I don't need to buy any more frozen fruit. Got some frozen crumpets here, which I like for breakfast. Some leftover veggies and little bits and pieces, but not very much, to be honest. I do have loads of frozen veg left. I got a lot last month, so I still have stir fry veg in the back, green beans, some spinach and some mixed veg in the back as well. So I know I don't have to get any more of that. And in here I have got some fish left. So these are fish and butter sauce. I'm the only person who eats these. No one else likes them in the house, so they tend not to get eaten as fast. These are things that are on my essentials list, which you'll see on my spreadsheet in a moment. Basically fish that you can cook from frozen. So I've still got basta, still got this is tuna steaks, and a little bit more basta. So you don't need to buy any more of them. So I'll definitely be picking up some salmon because we're out of salmon, but fine apart from that, fish wise. And in this final drawer at the bottom is my meat drawer. We don't have an awful lot left, got some chicken breasts here, and one pack of frozen turkey mince. So definitely need to pick up some more lean beef mince for things like spaghetti bolognese, for chili and so on, and some more chicken for things like chicken curry, chicken fajitas, many more chicken options. I'll also probably pick up some sausages or some beef casserole. So that's how I get started. I go and see what's in the freezer, what's in the fridge already, so that I don't end up buying things that I don't need, and I go from there. And so now I'm doing exactly the same with my cupboards. So looking in here, I can see I have 3 tins of soup left, so I need to get more soup because we do have that for lunch. We've got plenty of sweet chilli sauce backups here, so don't need to get any more of them. Only 1 tin of tuna left, so this is the tuna in spring water that I get for Elena, so I need to get more of that. We have got loads of gravy granules, so don't need any of them. I know that this is almost finished, so I need to pick up a new hot chocolate. Elena loves what she calls a baby hot chocolate. It's just really milky hot chocolate. And yeah, I can kind of see from here that there are a few things that I'm out of. I know that this is also just about done, so I need to get a new one of those. But yeah, for the majority in my store cupboard, I need some more sauces, I need some more soup, some tuna, some more hot chocolate, maybe some sachets of latte, that kind of thing. So I will be going now to my essentials list and seeing what's missing. In terms of topping up, I keep a spreadsheet with what our monthly essentials are. I say essentials. When it comes to actual essentials, I guess actual essentials are things like breads and milk and meats and vegetables and sort of proteins and fishes and things like that. I also include in those essentials what our family essentials are, so the various cereals that we like, our preferred snacks, and that kind of keeps me right and stops me from forgetting something that Elena's probably going to ask for and I wouldn't have bought, and I'll be kicking myself because I'll need to go back to the grocery store for it. So I go down that list and sort of work out what we need. I also work out what meals I want to have for the rest of the month up front. I have a spreadsheet of our most commonly made family meals. It doesn't mean that's what we have every month, but it is our kind of family favourites. It's things that I know my toddler will eat, so things like lasagna, spaghetti bolognese, chicken casserole, salmon. She loves salmon. She loves anything kind of chicken, salmon, fish and beef are fairly easy sales on her. And then I usually try to get at least a couple of roasts, so maybe like a lamb roast, a pork loin roast, something like that, and maybe a roast chicken as well, because I think it's really good to get that protein into her too. And then obviously vegetables, accompaniments, and so on too. So what I'll do is I'll show you my spreadsheet and what that looks like. On the first tab of my spreadsheet, I keep our essentials, and these are our family essentials. They're not necessarily everyone's essentials, although many of the things on this list will probably be essential for most families, like toilet paper under home, for example, washing tablets, dishwashing tablets, toothpaste, toothbrush, and so on. And I have the things for Elena that are kind of essentials, although actually she's no longer in nappies and wipes and Sudocrem, so we're not going to need those anymore. However, we do have a new baby on the way, so I'm keeping that on the list for now. And then the basic meals, easy oats. Elena has porridge for breakfast most days, rice, pasta, already prepared frozen vegetables, and so on. All of these things I use every day in my cooking, so those are essentials for me. And then what I do over here as well, I have a list of what I buy from Muscle Food, which is an online meat retailer, which was essentially set up for bodybuilders, which is why it's called Muscle Food. And it's extremely lean, good quality meats. And I generally buy in bulk from them once a month or once every 2 months. I usually check in the freezer and see what's left from the previous month and then make an order. And then what we have on top of that, kind of everyday essentials, a lot of these snacks are not essentials, and I won't buy all of these, but these are the kind of favourites, family favourites. And I generally won't buy scones and pancakes. I'll probably buy one or the other. Fruit, yeah, I'll always buy a bunch of fruit, although I'll be wary that obviously you only get a week or so out of fresh fruit, so I won't buy everything. I'll buy some, and then the rest will be picked up during the month, which I'll come on to in a minute. Cadbury's Minis, definitely a treat, so that's just a reminder that I should get some kind of treat. A slightly unhealthy treat once a month, and that is a treat for that month. Then what I do is I work out meals, and I work from here. These are kind of family favourites, if you like, and as and when I find a new one, I add it onto the list, and I keep my ingredients in here, and I won't buy everything every month, but what I'll do is I'll work out a meal plan. I'll work out how many days we're likely to be all together, because my husband works shifts, and if it's just Elena and I, then obviously we need a lot less food than we would if it's the three of us. And so therefore a lot of these meals will go more than one night. We'll have leftovers, particularly things like the lasagna. I usually make a huge batch of lasagna, and it can do like 3 or 4 meals. So I'll go through this list and work out what I want to make that month. I'll usually ask my husband if he has any requests, and then I'll obviously go down the ingredient list and make sure that I have everything that I need on my order. So once I've gone through and I've done my planning for the month, the next thing on my list is to go onto the website. Like I said, we use Tesco, but any grocery store would be exactly the same. You go in, you choose your slot, your delivery slot. I usually go for the cheapest slot, which tends to be very early in the morning or towards 7 p.m. plus, which works for me anyway, because at the moment I'm still working Monday to Friday full time. And then once I've chosen my slot, I will go through and I'll first of all go to my favourites on the site, and I think probably all grocery stores will have this. They save your favourites, they save your last order, your usual placed orders, your sort of common items, and I go through them, and I find that's the really quickest way to quickly fill my basket with the stuff that I need every month. So that be apples, bananas, bread, milk, the kind of basics that I know I order every single month, get them into the basket. Then I'll go back to my spreadsheet and see what's missing. And then once I've added what's missing for meals and essential items, I'll see where we are budget-wise. And I've usually got around about £30, £30 to £40, depending on how much I've spent on things like meat, because meat can be quite expensive, meat and fish. Maybe £30 to £40 for luxury items. I consider luxury items to be things like crisps, snacks that aren't as healthy. So things like carrots and hummus will be in my essentials, but things like, like Elena's Serene banana loaf, apple crisps, they are still quite healthy, but They are more snacks that are luxuries, definitely things like ice lollies. We always order them every month. They're really cheap anyway, but they are in the luxury category. So I will start adding those once I work out how much we've got left of our budget. And when we get towards £200, that's it. I always make sure that I've spoken to my husband before doing this order to see if there's anything that he needs. And obviously I walk around the house, things like the bathroom, double check what we need toothpaste wise. I always like to have a backup of my bathroom cleaning essentials. If you haven't seen that video, I will link that below. I did a video on my top 5 bathroom cleaning products, and I always have a backup. Things like toilet paper, obviously all of that stuff is in my essentials list anyway. So this is literally luxuries, and I just fill my basket till we get to our budget and then stop. Anything else is not really needed at that point, because like I've already added my essentials, I've added my luxuries. We shouldn't really need to add anything else unless I've forgotten something. So that is how I plan my grocery shop, and that is how I execute it. And then it comes I always get it delivered with bags. It's 40p for regardless of how many bags you use, and we make a huge order. £200 is a pretty big order anyway, so I totally find that useful, and I always reuse the bags for bin bags and so on. So yes, that's what we do. We get that delivered on a monthly basis. Fill our cupboards, fill our freezer. I work out my plan for the meals for the month. Obviously there's some days we eat out, some days we eat at my parents', some days we like to get carry-outs, maybe on a Saturday night, a Chinese or something like that. And I've obviously factored that into my monthly meals as well. So I hope you find this useful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and comment below if you have any tips on how to work on a budget, because obviously the better that you can plan your grocery budget, the better you can feed your family for less, is always a good thing. I try to be really careful with buying fresh foods in that monthly order, because like I said, you know, things like salads, fresh vegetables that can't go in the freezer are only going to last the week. So I would definitely be wary of buying too much of that up front. We definitely top up on that over the course of the month. But that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.